What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. All right, check it out. Dana White done did it again. UFC Saskatoon. For the UFC fans, pretty good card. Technical fighting for the love of sports. Let's talk about it. So Dana White brings us UFC Saskatoon and Charles Rosa versus Kevin Aguilar. That's the fight I'm gonna start with. Wasn't really too much of an eventful fight. Pretty even on the shots exchange. I believe Rosa probably pulled this victory out because he was pretty good with his legs, and the more significant shots was from the legs. Aguilar caught him with a couple of good shots in there, but they probably had like 8 shots different at the end of the fight. I think 58-64, something of that nature. And it didn't get to the ground much. Pretty much a stand-up game, uneventful. But Rosa pulled off the victory over Aguilar. It was a split decision, and well-earned victory. That was the first fight. Andre touchy-feely gets the win over Charles Jourdain. They come out in the first round, and Jourdain came out looking really good. Jourdain comes off of a impressive win, a knockout win over Doo Choi. And he came out, similar in the same fashion as he did with Doo Choi. He came out, very explosive, and it was a really good first round. Me personally, I would call it a swing round. But when round 2 started, Andre touchy-feely got his groove in. And he pretty much dominated round 2 and 3. And he got repeated takedowns on Charles Jourdain. And just, he was outstriking him. He got the takedowns at will. And, he earned that split decision. I'm not sure if I would give the first round to Jourdain. But, I could see the judges. It was a good round, the first round. I personally would have given Andre touchy-feely a unanimous decision. But nevertheless, he totally controlled the second 2 rounds. Like I said, he got the takedowns at will. So, very great win. And in the post-fight conference, Andre touchy-feely sent a little message out to Dana White. I am an elite fighter. I want the elite challenges. Watch what you ask for, young man, because Dana will put you in the ring with him. Now, Martin Vettori and Carl Roberson was an interesting fight. Now, these guys had bad blood. Listen, Vettori went after Roberson in the hotel, man. These guys wanted to get at each other before they got into the octagon. And so, as UFC fans, we knew this fight would be explosive. And Vettori it was a little bit too much for Roberson in this fight. And he ended in rear naked choke. But we got to understand something about Vettori. Vettori has been on a win streak. And he's a dominant fighter. Now, the last time he lost, for all you guys that don't know, was in April of 2018. But he lost to Israel Adesanya. Yes, now superstar Israel Adesanya. And he lost to him in a split decision fight. And for you guys that didn't see that fight, it was a close fight. He pushed Israel Adesanya to the limit, and then he went on a 3-fight win streak. He beat Fury, he beat Sanchez, and then he just beat Roberson. So, Martin Vettori, you gotta think about something. In a split decision fight against Israel Adesanya, let's say that Martin Vettori won that fight back in 2018. He hasn't been beaten since. So, it's safe to say he could have just went on a continual win streak. After you get that belt and you get that that adrenaline, that confidence, you know you're the best. He could be sitting in the place of Israel Adesanya right now because, again, guys, it was a split decision. You know, Israel Adesanya did not run through Martin Vettori the way he generally runs through a lot of these opponents. So, look out for Martin Vettori. You know how Dana White moves, guys. He just might put those guys back in there for a rematch, and I would love to see that fight. The main event: Cynthia Calvillo and Jessica I. Now, Jessica I came in, she was the bigger fighter. Going into this fight, neither of these ladies, it was kind of a back and forth thing about who was favored in this fight, as far as the bookies are concerned. And coming closer to the fight, the favor went to Calvillo. Now, Calvillo ended up winning the fight. It was a really good fight, but I think that she was just a bit too strong, and she was very successful with the takedowns in this fight with Jessica I. It was just takedown after takedown, and she ended up winning the fight versus Jessica I, but she totally controlled her. It wasn't one of these fights where either of these women were hurting each other, but just by the points and the technicality, Calvillo, did what she needed to do, and she came out with the win. One thing's for sure, Dana White has done it again, and a lot of boxing fans that would cross over to the UFC, this type of fight probably wouldn't excite them too much because you don't have your high-profile knockouts or a person getting hit and hurt across the ring. No, this was more of a technical mixed martial arts fight. Calvillo constantly working for the takedowns. She knew better than to stand up with Jessica I. Didn't really work into her game plan. So as a UFC fan, you could really appreciate and expect this challenge. And it was just another great fight by great competition, great card by Dana White in the UFC. Now, Calvillo, of course, did everything she needed to do and she got the win. Now, this is her first win at 115 at the flyweight division, but here's the question. Is Calvillo enough to take down Valentina Shevchenko? Not sure, but this win sure will help her get into that fight. Another good card. As I say, as a UFC fan, another good card. Keep them coming, Dana White. And, it's the UFC mix, guys. Y'all know how I always in this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.